like for you to be in this arena and back here? What kind of emotion is that? And, once they postponed that first game, were you a little nervous that maybe it wouldn't happen?
It's cool coming back here. I think people sometimes don't know the full story. The Seattle Thunderbirds where I played was probably 25 minutes out of the city, so we came down here every once in a while. But aside from that, it's just cool being back in an area where I know tomorrow night there's probably going to be a bunch of Thunderbird fans, and I texted our assistant coach from when I was playing here. I think the whole Seattle Thunderbirds team's coming and all the staff, so it's just honestly just awesome to be back, and there's just that feeling you get just when you have history in a certain spot.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Besides your teammates, do you have a ton of family coming down too?
I actually haven't really talked to my parents too much about it, or friends from back home. I think just with COVID and the border, and I don't know. I'm sure my mom and dad will get down for the game, and other than that, I'm not too sure.
Go ahead, Andrew.
To you, what's the biggest difference playing East Coast compared to West Coast, if anything?
In terms of what, the style?
Yeah, lifestyle. I mean, just within the NHL, I know that travel's not as significant on the East Coast, but what springs to mind when you think East Coast compared to your years out here in Seattle?
Personally, I love being on the East Coast. The day I was in New York, just going into the city and stuff, I've been in love with it, and obviously love coming back to the West Coast for the summer. And when there's good weather out here, it's nice. Being in Vancouver and Seattle, it was always raining in the summer, and in New York's more cold and sunny. So I'd take that, all day.
Mike Benn, Seattle Kraken.
Matt, hey, welcome back to the Puget Sound. Can you walk us back through one defining moment, whether it might be a talk from your old head coach, Steve Konowalchuk, a playoff series, or anything else into the T-Bird dressing room that made such a difference for you and your career here in Seattle?
Defining moment? I don't know if there's one particular one. I would say when we won that championship, there was definitely this euphoric feeling that I got, and we got as a team. Just when you work, I really felt like we worked so hard for 4 years, and to accomplish that in my 19-year-old year, and all a bunch of my good friends and my teammates that year, we came up at 16, 17, 18, and then we won at 19, so it was super rewarding.
Back to Andrew Gross.
Yeah, Matt, I was just curious for your thoughts when you walked into this building and looked out on the ice and what they did here. What you were expecting and how it maybe matched or didn't match what you might have been expecting with this building.
I was just telling Matty Martin on the bench. I mean, it is unbelievable out there. The standing area up top with the light shining through. It's similar, seating and the way it's built to UBS, but I love it's kind of a Seattle highlight, I guess, with the light coming in, kind of makes it a little bit outdoorsy with the big window there and people can see through. So I was, I hadn't seen it. Ebbs told me that it was an unreal building, and it definitely is.
Back to Mike Benn, Seattle Radio.
And you mentioned a chance to connect with a lot of your friends in this area, texting your former assistant coach, Matt Odette, who's got the reins now. What kind of influence did Matt in particular, Odie, did he make for you as a player and growing up in that culture?
For me, Odie did a lot of work with the defensemen, so he was working with them skills every day. I know how hard he worked with Ethan Bear, and I would assume, or I would for sure say that Ethan would give a ton of credit to Matt Odette just with how hard he was on him and the skills he helped him with and his attention to detail. So in terms of that, in terms of what Ode's helped me with, I think for me, Oj was just a good guy to talk to, get some pro advice and that kind of stuff. And in terms of on ice, he was very detailed with the D-man.
Ethan Sears near post.
Yeah, Matt, I guess I'll ask a hockey question here. Barry said he kind of wants you guys to play more straight line hockey. How do you personally find that balance in your game, obviously being someone who can kind of create going east-west?
I think that, he's right. I think just, anytime you're going north-south and playing that game, especially with my speed, I can be extremely effective. I think, like last night, Montreal's doing a good job of just staying on top of every single guy, on the ice, whether it's a D-man forward, and it's hard to get that game going. But, it's definitely something that when we're playing north-south that we're a better team and, I'm a better player.